Osio and Dosido, my Heidi hoes. Surprise live stream. I know I haven't streamed for a while. I've been really busy. I've been helping Ali with the store a lot, and that was a mistake. Um, I let him train me on the register for emergencies. So far, there's really only been one emergency, but I seem to be down there a lot. Um, Last Sunday, he had worked all night and stayed cleaning things up and all that sort of thing until about 4 a.m. Store opens at 5 a.m. The person that was supposed to open at 5 on Sunday, hi Brandon. The person that was supposed to open at 5 a.m. on Sunday, he texts her and says, "Please make sure you're on time. Be 5 or 10 minutes early." She texts back, "I'm going to Texas to be with my daughter." Didn't bother to say anything to him, so what was supposed to happen at 5 a.m. when no one opens the store? And luckily, I'd already been asleep and I'd been up since about 3 a.m., 4 a.m. He's calling me. He's just, he's dragged out, exhausted. You could hear it in his voice. And he's like, "What am I going to do? What am I going to do?" I am here. And he says, "Can you help me? Can you help me? If I open late, if I open at 6:30, can you help me?" Oh God, yeah, I guess so. And I figured it would just be for a few hours until someone else came in. Nope. I ended up being there for 11 hours. And it wasn't just, watching the register. I had to make all the food. And it ended up being a busy day, so I had to remake the food like 5 times. And when I was finally able to go home, my legs were swollen. My feet felt like every bone in them was broken. My back was killing me. And my legs were like, they, they were twitching, and it felt like there was an electric pulse going back and forth through them. So, obviously this isn't something I can do on a regular basis. And then I think it was yesterday, again, he was very tired. He wanted to go have a nap. So I'm like, "Okay, you go ahead, go have a nap." He says, "How long you give me till?" I said, "Until you wake up," because I know he needs to sleep. Between the two stores, he's not getting any sleep. So 11:30 last night, I text him, "Do I ever get to go home again?" And apparently he didn't get my text because he was on his way and he was afraid that I was mad at him. I'm like, "No, it's been quiet. It's been mellow. I even, got the trash taken out for you and got some stuff cleaned up so you don't have to do it. So maybe you won't stay until 4 a.m. and not sleep." But anyway, today, Tuesday I had a doctor's appointment in Olympia, and that was for this swelling that I have in my throat. And since I have ME, I have a tendency to get swollen lymph nodes. And this one's been here for a couple of years now, so it starts to get worrying because a friend of mine on Facebook, she had something like that, and doctors kept telling her it was fine, it was fine, it was fine. Well, it turned out to be metastasized breast cancer. And she fought it for years. And here, just a month or so ago, she was finally allowed compassionate release through medications, and she took the pills to end her life because she had no prognosis of surviving at that point. But they ran a scope up through my nose and down into my throat, and he didn't see anything. So he said, "Well, we'll keep an eye on it. If it starts bothering you more, we'll have a look at it again." And he thinks it might be a salivary gland stone or a tonsil stone. I knew you could get salivary gland stones. I did not know you could get tonsil stones. So anyway, today I was supposed to go back to the doctor, the spine doctor, and we were supposed to discuss surgical options. Turns out it had fuck all to do with surgical options. she wants me to lose weight first. It's like, yeah, if you're in a lot of pain, you can't do a lot of moving to lose any weight. But I am looking into bariatric surgery. But she wanted to know how I was doing since the injection. And I'm like, what? Okay, first you're fat shaming me. Then you let me know that this has nothing to do with surgery. And you just wanted me to come in to see how I was doing since the injection. You could have asked me on the motherfucking phone, saved me a day of driving with a bunch of fucking idiots, $50 in gas. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? And then Ali had wanted me to pick up some tamarind for him. And this is where it comes in that Olympia has got to be the whitest city in the country. Most of the places I've been to have never heard of tamarind. You work in produce and you've never heard of tamarind. You work in produce in a large city, a very culturally diverse city, and you've never heard of tamarind. Winco had them, but they were out. I'd gotten him some when at the Winco in Tacoma, and he absolutely loved them. That's why he's got me looking for it, because apparently the ones they sell local are sweet. He wants the sour ones. So Winco's out. So this was on Tuesday. I go to a place I don't generally go. It used to be called Top Foods, price leader. We've got the sales, blah, 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 all that bullshit. Then they became Hagen Foods, and their prices have skyrocketed. And people are like, well, you do pay more for quality. They're selling the exact same brands you get at Kroger, Safeway, Albertsons, just at an inflated price. Just a soda is almost $3. I mean, sodas a lot of places are almost $3, but this is even more than that, where it's like $2.69 somewhere else. It's $2.89 there. And, they had tamarind. $11 a pound. Winco was $5 a pound. Hagen was $11 a pound, and it was shit. They were dried out. They were cracked. Some of them had spots of mold. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And I saw some red bananas there, and I know those grow over where Ollie's from, so I'd gotten a couple. I only got a couple because they were $6 a pound for bananas. Oh, yes, they're a specialty banana, but still. I've been in there when they've sold wild mushrooms before, and I used to be in the business of buying and selling wild mushrooms. I know what they're supposed to look like. They're not supposed to look like that, and they're not supposed to be $15 a pound for chanterelles during a glut season when the pickers can't even sell them for 50 cents a pound. It just fucking ridiculous. And I finally got fed up and just walked out. It was just ridiculous. So I went back today, went back to Winco. No, they still don't have any. And so I asked the produce guy, well, we might get some tomorrow. I'm like, dude, I live over 100 miles away. I'm not coming all this way just to get tamarind. Oh, I don't know. Sorry. And the idiot drivers on the road just, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. People camping in the left lane. And let me tell you something, children, those of you in the United States especially, in most states, not all but most, the far left lane, no, it is not called the fast lane, especially in this situation. It is known as the passing lane. The far left lane is for passing only, non-HOV lanes, The far left lane is for passing only. Brandon, you behave yourself, or we'll put you in the zoo, Brandon the bear. So, I know Dina's not here because she's trying to get caught up on her sleep, so. Anyway, all day long, stupid bitches camping in the far left lane, not passing anyone, doing under the speed limit, and these are the people it should be legal to shoot. And then once you try and get past them, then all of a sudden they can speed up. It's amazing. They figure out what the gas pedal is for. And I had this bitch this morning, would not move, could not get around her, doing 55 in a 60 zone where everybody else does 65, couldn't get around her slow ass, finally did, and next thing you know, she's on my ass. Next thing you know, she's passing me. Next thing you know, she's hanging back behind me, and I'm like, bitch, are you drunk or what? It's 10 a.m. And then pretty soon she just takes off about 70 miles an hour, and I'm like, what the ever-loving fuck? I don't know. I don't get it. Oh my God. And that kind of shit just happened all day long. And then I had to go through North Olympia on Martin Way. Olympia is an absolute shit show as far as traffic goes. There are some lights that are literally, the green light is 2 seconds. I counted it. I mean literally in a literal sense, not, oh my God, I literally died. Well, no you didn't, or you'd be dead right now and we'd be at your funeral. Literally, I counted it. Light turns green, 1, 2, yellow. What the fuck? It's a busy road, and gee, I wonder why traffic is backed up. And every light was red. Every, and I mean every. I could probably count on one hand the times I actually got to an intersection and the light was green. Every light is red. And there are some lights there that take 3 to 5 minutes to change back to green. So, dealing with all that, then this stupid doctor who decides she's not going to do any surgery, I can just keep having injections since I don't want to take drugs. Bitch, it's not that I don't want to, it's that I can't, or I will vomit for hours on end. And I see I'm losing viewers, and it's probably because I'm not talking about all the drama bullshit. Don't expect it. Don't expect it. Well, yeah, Blake's accidents do happen. I was, one day I was further up towards Lacey, which is right next to Olympia, and I was, again, on Martin Way, made the turn behind this blue Volvo, dark blue Volvo, and it started to downpour. Instead of turning on her windshield wipers, what does she do? Slams to a stop while she tries to figure out how her fucking windshield wipers work. Dead stop. I mean, hit them hard because it rained in Washington State. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? You must be new here. They are just some of the dumbest people. So if I had to rate, it would be Portland as the dumbest, then Olympia, and then Aberdeen. I never thought Aberdeen would be number 3 because when 3 different people try to kill you in their vehicles in 3 blocks, people are stupid. When you're crossing a one-way street and you have to look both ways to make sure, people are stupid. I just, and people that treat certain intersections like it's a 4-way stop, it's like, dude, I had the right of way. There's through traffic. I'm turning right. You're turning left. I have the right of way. It's not a 4-way stop. And you've got a lot of entitled douchebags with no brains to back it up is what it comes down to. And then all the way home, I was behind some goddamn tourist from Colorado. It's like, pull over. Just pull over. It's 55. Most people do 60. They're doing between 50 and 55 until they hit a curve. Then they drop down to 45. Then they hit a straight stretch and they get up to almost 60 and then slow down to 50. And it's like, oh my God, everybody on the road is drunk or high today. Oh my God. It's absolutely ridiculous. And these are the people that tell me, oh, well, you think it's bad here. You should try LA. You should try LA. I did, bitches. I have done LA traffic. And they're a fuckload smarter than you fucking morons. Unless it's rush hour, people leave space between their cars so that people can seamlessly merge. Not up there. They go zooming up to the car in front of them because you're not getting in front of me. And people don't know how to merge. The on-ramp is for getting up to freeway speed. Grandma. You know, the freeway speed is 60 miles per hour. You've got quite a ways to get up to speed so you can seamlessly merge and not have to slow down traffic. But because people are too fucking stupid, this is where we get our traffic slowdowns from. The sudden bottlenecks is because not only will people not let others merge, people just don't know how to merge. And I mean, I'm not exactly the greatest driver, especially if I'm road raging, because I wanted to run people off the road today. But anyway, I mean, it's just the level of stupid common stores, like say Costco or something, and you're not quite familiar with the area, so you ask someone, do you know where the Costco is? Oh, gee, no, I don't even know if we have one here. Yeah, you fucking do. You got 2 of them. I mean, people that have lived in a neighborhood their entire lives have no idea what street is where. But they sure as fuck know where the weed store is. Downtown hippie types will literally stand there with signs saying, need money for weed, need money for beer. It's like, appreciate the honesty, but I need my money for bills, so go fuck yourself. Anyway, what's up with everybody else? Nothing? Nothing? Nobody? I've been talking to some people about doing some live streams with them. Oh, Brandon is hungry. Well, for that, you, God, how do you solve a problem like that? Oh, God, it's on the tip of my tongue. Eat food! Another part of my rant. Motherfucking Fred Meyer. I went into Fred Meyer, another place that's never heard of tamarind, and they had dragon fruits. They had the yellow-skinned dragon fruits. And you may have seen the hot pink ones. They've got white flesh with little black seeds, and they're kind of sweet, but not a lot of flavor. The yellow ones have the white flesh, but they have bigger black seeds, and they're very, very sweet. And that sign said $5.99 a pound. I was getting them for $3.35 a pound in California, but I figured, yeah, I'm quite a ways away. It's been shipped, whatever, going to affect the price. I get up there, and I have to get help because it's not telling me, how much, the 3 dragon fruits I got were. And so I had to get assistance, and she says, oh, I think those are for the each. I said, the sign says by the pound. Oh, I don't think it does. Bitch, I've been reading since I was 3 years old. LB means pound. EA means each. So apparently no brains at Fred Meyer either. And of course they've gotten to where they're a little more expensive anyways. So, it's just not one of the, because I like grocery outlet, but you never know what they're going to have. And their produce and meat, don't go there. Don't go there. Mm-mm. Getting my room sorted after spending. Oh, yeah. That's another thing I got to do. I got to touch up the paint in the store bathroom because this guy said he would do the job for Ali and made it sound like he was making him such a great deal and everything. He made the biggest fucking mess. He didn't get paint into any crevices. There's these like weird dark crevices along there. Smeared paint on the door jamb, paint on the doorknobs. He didn't mask anything off. He didn't remove like light plates and stuff like that. He just tried to go around them and did a shit job. So I get to go in and correct all that horse shit. And, Ollie was telling somebody one time about how so many people, brag and compliment him on his clean bathroom. And I was like, okay, he's making that shit up because nobody does that. Yeah, they do. I have literally received tips from people for having a clean bathroom. What? People will literally tip a buck or two because the bathrooms are clean. Now that sounds like fun. Snow week. Well, not to me because I'm cold intolerant, but go play in the snow, make a snowman, make some snow angels, do some snowboarding, just don't break anything. I thought once I got the back thing taken care of, I'd be able to get more exercise. And then that's when all the rest of the pain in my body goes, oh, now you can pay attention to us. You can pay attention to us. Hey, we're here. Hi, meet me in outer space. How's it going? What's going on with you? I don't know where Kami is. It's early afternoon there. But then her family's been dealing with COVID again. Her daughter came down with it, then she came down with it, then her son came down with it, then her husband came down with it. Only one that hasn't gotten it is her oldest daughter. And apparently there's a plus to teenagers tending to lock themselves in their room. Particularly the arthritis in my left knee has decided to go, yeah, I'm here! And after working last night so Ollie could finally get some sleep, it's yelling at me. It's yelling at me. And then I did another boo-boo. Is anybody familiar with Goodwill outlet stores? The thrift stores, Goodwill? My bugaboo with them is they get all that shit for free. Anything that's really good, they separate out and sell online for really high prices. But the shit that they put in their store, they have a really high price on. I found an Italian hand crank pasta maker one time, and it was in a box. It was probably from the 70s or 80s, used. They wanted $40 for it, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I can get a brand new one off of eBay for $20. And this is shit they get for free. And what about overhead? What about overhead? Their CEO makes almost $1 million a year. They hire the so-called handicapped because by law they can pay the handicapped an hourly wage of $2.13 an hour, or they can pay them piecemeal, and some of them literally make only pennies per hour. No benefits, of course. And people think, well, it gives them something to do, because they're probably getting disability payments, so what do they need? How much do you think disability is? People do want to live on something. They don't just want to have a job. They want to be able to make at least some kind of a living. Yeah, I think, especially with fibromyalgia, you get visited by the ghost of injuries past. And I think my fibromyalgia was set off by a car wreck that I was in when I was 8 years old. We were crossing a road where it was 40 miles per hour, and a drunk came up over the hill doing 90 and hit our car. And everybody in both cars got bumps and bruises and scratches except me. I got a broken collarbone, a messed up knee, and 50 stitches in my face. It's like, what did you do on your summer vacation? Nothing. I was busy recuperating from broken bones and shit. And the knee that's really giving me the trouble is the left knee. It's also the knee that I about destroyed in the 80s trying to teach myself how to break dance. And stop laughing. Stop. I can hear you at home. You are laughing. Stop laughing. What is DSP? Oh, disability. Okay. Um, and then, ow. Yeah, sixth grade, not the greatest skater. That was when, Olivia Newton-John was hot and she did Xanadu and now she's dead. And this older boy saw that I wasn't a great skater, so he came whipping by me real close and clipped the front of my skates. Next thing I knew, my feet were right out in front of me and I landed straight down on my tailbone. Oh, you actually broke your pelvic bone. Yeah. Yeah. I knew a gal who, this creek where everybody used to go swimming, there's a big bluff on one side and people would basically cliff dive from it or just, jump off, not necessarily dive. And she slipped and hit the rocks below and shattered her pelvis. She was in the hospital for quite some time. She was on crutches for a very long time. And then I had a friend that she was a flagger, and she was trying to get this car to stop, but the girl didn't want to stop. So she hit the big, huge mechanical sign, and it fell on my friend. It didn't just fall on her. It went flying and hit her, and it shattered her legs, and they told her she'd never walk again. Yeah. But I think I've talked about her before because of a 4th of July party where I ended up in the middle of a street at 4:30 in the morning howling because she did not tell me that the cranberry juice had 100 proof vodka in it. And you'd think a person would notice such a thing, but I'd already had a couple wine coolers at this party and whatever I had at that party and blah, blah, blah. So I didn't really pay attention, and there are parts that are kind of blurry. I just know I was standing in the middle of the street at 4:30 a.m. Luckily, it's a very rural area, howling. And this is the same gal, and now she dances and all this other stuff. It hurts her the next day after all that she went through, but, they told her she was going to be in a wheelchair the rest of her life. And she was like, the fuck I am. Oh, yeah, I've been through some stuff, and then I've been through stuff that's just plain stupid. I was at a tribal meeting one time, and it was afterwards, and I had my dog with me. She was a wolf hybrid. She was 3/4 gray wolf and 1/4 Malamute. And I'm standing there talking to somebody, and his kids are playing with the dog, I'm not paying any attention. And then out of the brush across the street, there's a cat. And I had a hold of her leash, and she goes taking off after the cat and wrecked my rotator cuff. It took almost a year for that to heal up, and every once in a while, ghost of injuries past, it acts up. And for the last year and a half or so, the other shoulder's acting up, and I'm like, what the hell is, what? I don't get it. Why is that? I've never injured that. And that's right. The car wreck. Yeah, my shoulder was slammed into the side of the car. Duh. And then, of course, there was the broken bone in 6th grade because this asshole, who already knew that I was out, they got right up to the line. Hold on. Shut up. Motherfucker, shut up. Ow, that hurt. I was already out, and I was walking to the bleachers, and he stepped right up to the line and threw the ball as hard as he could, and it hit my hand. My hand was kind of balled up, and it pushed the bones back towards the elbow, and when they sprung back, the ulna broke all the way through. And they said if the ulna hadn't been, if the radius hadn't been holding it in place, I would have required surgery to pin it back together. KZ Auckland, I have no idea who you are. So, no, I'm not going to be doing any. Nobody's on panel. I don't care if they sit there. Unless it turns out to be Carlos putting the N word in there. Let's see, I did break a toe one time. I was working as a bartender, and I was kind of late to work, and I went running out the door, and all the deer were out on the sidewalk. Scared the crap out of me. I turned and ran back into the house, and my foot hit the edge of the porch and slipped off, but it even with my shoe on, it caught my toe, and oh no, I said shut the fuck up because something else played, and broke my toe, and there's nothing you can do for a broken toe, so I had to work with that. And of course it was a weekend night, so the bar was just slam packed. It's like, oh my God. No, I was looking up who KZ Auckland is. They've had their account since 2015, so I wish my ginger brew were cold. I got some Reed's Extra Ginger Brew. It's not ginger ale, it's ginger brew. Ginger ale doesn't taste like anything. Ginger brew tastes like ginger. It's all hot and spicy and everything. I gotta go out to the spring tomorrow. I gotta get a bunch of crap out of my car because I have a bad habit. Oh, that's where I was going earlier. Okay, Goodwill. Yeah, so anyway, shit's expensive in the fucking Goodwill thrift stores. But they have what are called... What? You've got what? Mic numbness? What? On my right foot and legs from a broken spine, but it slowly gets better, but this was back in 2016. Yeah, I've got some numbness on the surface on the outside of my left leg that goes down into my foot. And it's dangerous because I can't always feel my footing. And I was climbing this rocky area over in Idaho or Eastern Washington. I can't remember which, but I'm keeping an eye out because rocky area in the desert means rattlesnakes, right? So I'm keeping an eye out for rattlesnakes and not paying attention to my footing like I should. And I didn't realize the rock under my left foot was not secure, and it went to move. It shifted, and it threw me forward, and I put my hands on the rock and caught myself before I fell, but then I pushed back, and right behind me was a rock that had kind of a corner to it, and I slammed my hip and lower back into that rock, and I wore a grape jelly purple stain all down my hip. What's going on? Wow. Just got them all out of the way at once? Okay, is there a problem with this KZ Auckland dude? Do I need to bounce him? Anybody know? Anybody know? Anybody know? Hello, hello, hello. Bueller, Bueller, Bueller. So anyway, they've got these things called the Goodwill outlet stores. And, oh, I don't know. Maybe he wanted to go somewhere with him. So, the stuff that doesn't sell at Goodwill, it goes to their outlet stores. And they have these long, big, huge blue bins on wheels. And they line them up and in groupings and stuff like that, and you just tear through the stuff, and they sell a lot of the stuff by the pound. Like a lot of the clothing and stuff, they sell for like $1.35 a pound or whatever. And books are like 69 cents or some goofy ass price. And I went in there one time and I got a big, heavy men's black biker jacket and a full length sheared rabbit coat and a bunch of other crap. And it didn't even cost me $20 altogether. So I went in there Tuesday, and the problem is you got a lot of people in there who are resellers, and they're looking for stuff that they can sell on eBay or whatever, and they get dangerous. They're throwing shit, you know. One time in Seattle, I ended up with a bruised arm because some dude tearing through the books picked up this big book and just threw it, and it hit me in the arm. I'm like, ow! And he didn't even acknowledge it. It's like, you fuckers, people just get careless with it. But, you know, I go through stuff kind of carefully, and I'll pick out like clothing that's got a really pretty pattern or fabric that I think I can use in another project or whatever. And, I mean, I have found some pretty cool shit. So the other day I got like another desk lamp. I got another CD cassette player like the one I've already got. It just didn't have a cord, but that's okay because I've got a cord. Got some books and some clothes. I got another leather jacket. Oh. Well, then don't be talking about bananas, Brandon. Bananas are a dangerous fruit, you know. What if someone attacks you with a banana? But, I got a turntable, and it's got a needle. You know, the player arm actually has a needle in it. I don't know if it works or not. I haven't had time to try it out. Because if I'm not off at doctor appointments, I'm either helping Ali or I'm off buying stuff for Ali or whatever, like this deep fryer that he bought, you know. Can you find out where it is? Can you find out where it is? Well, it's in Portland. It's like, well, it was in Portland 2 days ago and it was supposed to be there by today. So if it's not at the other store by tomorrow, I'm going to be contacting somebody. Because, you know, he's got the heavy accent, so people don't understand him that well. And so it's easier if, you know, I get an understanding of what he wants conveyed and then I talk to them. But I ended up at Goodwill, I ended up spending like $43. I'm like, whoa, that's more than I have ever spent here. Ever, ever, ever. And so, well, I better not be doing that again. Well, after everything I went through today, I'm like, I just happened to be going through that area. I'm like, well, let's just stop and see. What could that hurt? $25 later, you know, that's what it hurt. Then I had to go buy some stuff for the store and deal with more assholes and the 2-second lights and, oh, God. Trying to get onto I-5 and people that forgot they were needed to be on I-5 so that they merge in front of you at the last minute. It's like, for fuck's sakes. So hopefully the doctor appointments are done for a couple weeks and I can stay home away from the humans. Because it's getting to be that time of year. I need to go start checking on mushrooms. I think I pretty much missed the berry season. I almost bought a hot pink t-shirt today because I usually don't wear anything but black, but I almost bought a hot pink t-shirt today just for going out mushroom picking because mushroom picking coincides with elk season, so you have to wear something brightly colored. And it's like, no, you dumbasses, I am not an elk wearing a t-shirt. Thank you. I may be fat, but I ain't that big. I'm just fat enough for a doctor to fat shame me, fucking bitch. Then I was talking about some stuff that, you know, from hiking and stuff like that. And She's like, well, gee, it sounds like you need to find something you can do indoors. I'm like, I've been indoors for too fucking long. I need to be outside. I need to be out. Out. I like the outdoors. There aren't any people out there usually. Of course, a lot of the places I used to go pick mushrooms, the timber companies have all blocked off. But they'll let you rent a key. Yeah, could be. But they'll let you rent a key to the gate for $400 a year. It's like, bitch, I ain't gonna be picking no $400 worth of mushrooms. So I'll usually park on a side road and sneak in around the gate. But one spot that's really, really good, there's no way I could sneak in up there because, oh my God, it's probably a 1.5 mile walk, mostly uphill. Actually, from where they've got the gate now, it's more like a 2 mile walk uphill. And so that really pretty much sucks. But right now, I'm going to be keeping an eye out for lobster mushrooms. And then pretty soon the chanterelles will slowly come on. And then you've got the like the saffron milky cap. Sometimes you might find matsutake, American matsutake. I've only found 2 in my entire life, and they're just the most fucking amazing mushroom. And if it's a good year and you can find a lot of them, you can sell them for about $40 a pound. I miss doing the mushroom business because, long gone are the days when I'd come home with like $1,800 in my pocket, And the marketers and the French and Italian restaurants see you coming and you're greeted with fanfare and they sit you down and they feed you lunch and while they look over the mushrooms and decide what they want and that last boyfriend of mine, I could never get it through his head, mostly because he could never remember a conversation long enough. Well, why don't you just call him and call around and say, hey, this is what I got, blah, blah, blah. And I kept telling him it doesn't work that way. Whether it's mushrooms, wild greens, flowers, berries, they want to see it in person. They want to touch it, smell it, taste it. They do not just buy over the phone. Brandon, where you are, I think there's something like 6 or 8 different species of the psychedelics. I don't know about the edibles down there. Washington State has the highest species of the psychedelics. They have 18 different species, including the paniolas or haymaker, also known as liberty caps, which are the cow shit mushrooms. But in the same general area that those will grow, you get the porcini, which is the king bolita, and those you have to grade, but those can go for $24, $25 a pound in a good season. And then there's just a lot of like winter chanterelle, shaggy manes. You can't really sell shaggy manes because as soon as you pick them, they start breaking down. The cap liquefies, and that's how it spreads its spores. The cap just turns to this black inky liquid and just starts dripping off, and the cap gets shorter and shorter and shorter. Let's see what else. There's yeah, you have to be really careful with those because there's so many lookalikes. We've got what they call little brown mushrooms that really don't have a name designation except to experts, scientists. and they figure they're not worth bothering with, but a lot of the little brown mushrooms can make you sick, but they look a lot like the psychedelics. We also have one that's not a psychedelic, therefore it's completely legal. It's what they call a deliriant, and you might be familiar with it. The red cap with the white dots, that is Amanita muscaria, and there's different variations of it all over the world. um, that mm, it can make you sick when they're fresh, but the active components do not change in your body and are washed out through your urine. If you were to drink your urine, you would get basically high all over again. And this mushroom is the story, has to do with the story of Santa Claus, because the original Santa Claus, other than Saint Nicholas, there's two Saint Nicholases. Other than the original Santa Claus, who was a Siberian shaman, which is the proper use of the word shaman. Siberian shamans used to wear these robes that were trimmed in white fur, and they could be red, gold, green. It would have all these different, fancy like gold embroidery and that sort of thing. Um, and I guess they would go around giving gifts to people or something like that. But a shaman one day noticed that the reindeer were acting funny and they were leaping into the air and all this other thing. And they finally noticed that the reindeer were nibbling on these mushrooms before they started acting funny. And it was the Amanita muscaria. And I don't know how they found out that, the compounds don't change in urine, but these shamans would drink reindeer urine. Oh well, whatever. But so these shamans would drink the reindeer urine, and they would have, these dreams and visions and stuff like that. But the deer eating those and frolicking around the way they did, that's what gave rise to the myth of the flying reindeer. And the red and white colors of the cap, that's where we get, the red and white suit of Santa now. But the Santa that we know now was actually invented by Coca-Cola. Of course, they show a white dude basically with rosy red cheeks, and the original Siberian shamans were not white. Like a lot of native people, they were dark skinned. But of course, like many a corporation, Coca-Cola turned him white. And no, polar bears are not particularly partial to Coca-Cola, and so I would not try giving them any, or you could end up mauled. And polar bears are the biggest bear, and they're also the most dangerous bear. Followed by like grizzlies and Kodiaks, and then black bears. I don't know about the Asian bears where they put in there, but of course pandas aren't actually even technically a bear. Sun bears, they can be pretty vicious. But yeah, don't fuck with bears, and don't fuck bears unless you're gay and it's a gay term. Oh, I like a bear. I want me a papa bear. Then go for it, whatever. But the four-footed furry animals that roam the woods and shit in the woods and all that sort of thing, don't fuck bears. Anyway, anybody have any questions, any interesting stories, anything they want to talk about? I have no idea where my girls is. Kami's probably sleeping to get rid of the damn COVID. And I know that Dina is sleeping because she's been moving house and all this other crap, and they're gearing up to start hitting the road and go look for their new dream home. She got the dogs and the kitties, Her horses are being boarded at a friend's. And she did find a house she does like, but they're going to have to go look at it first, make sure it doesn't like need a new roof or some damn thing. Do you have irregular typos, Brandon? Oh, does anybody have Hulu? The new, oh shit. Oh, I missed it. There's a new episode out tonight. Reservation Dogs. Last week they premiered the first 2 episodes, and yesterday there was another one. That's because I wasn't home. That's why I forgot about it. Oh shit, I'm not going to be on here much longer because I got to go watch that. Yeah, we're not even paying much attention to that. I mean, I haven't been home, so I'm not paying attention. You know, I'm doing one thing or another. I got a bunch of sign work I got to work on. I got paperwork I got to do. It's all shit I can sit here, in front of my computer and do. But not until after I see the new episode of Reservation Dogs. Oh, no, that's Reservoir Dogs, Brandon. But the name is, a play on Reservoir Dogs. And even the suits the kids wear on the 1-year anniversary honoring their friend Daniel, who committed suicide. Because, as I have stated before, youth suicide on the reservation is 8 times the national average. But if you have not seen Reservation Dogs, if you have Hulu or a VPN where you can gain access to Hulu, or I don't know how those shits work, so if there's any way you can do so, you gotta see Reservation Dogs. And then you gotta go to Peacock TV or Disney Plus and watch Rutherford Falls, because their 2nd season is out too. And it's even more exciting than the first. And then you got to go back to Hulu and watch Prey, which is like a prequel to the Predator series, and it's indigenous. And the gal on there is like an indigenous Aubrey Plaza who kicks everybody's ass. Oh my God, she is amazing. But the Predator, well, I don't think the Predator goes back in time. It's just the movie goes back in time and says, yeah, the Predator's been here before. And apparently is culturally appropriative and wears dreadlocks. I don't know what else to do. I got my yellow dragon fruit. I gave Ollie one of the dragon fruits because he's one of the few people that could appreciate the dragon fruits. Who, what, Blakes? Who, what, where, when? Who are you asking about? Who just came back? Reservation Dogs, Rutherford Falls, and Prey, the new Predator film, but it's like a prequel because it goes back in time to like the 1800s and shows that the Predator has always been around and has always visited. Oh, the Predator is, because he wears dreadlocks. And then AMC has Dark Wind, and it stars Zahn McClarnon, who plays Big, the police officer in Reservation Dogs. He plays Joe Lee Porn, and Dakota something or other plays the rookie cop Jim Chi. If you've ever read Tony Hillerman's books, they all take place on the Navajo and Hopi reservations. He doesn't get everything right, but then again, he probably shouldn't get everything right. They didn't really wear dreadlocks. It was like this mud that they wore in their hair that kind of, did something similar to their hair. And then they would also um, treat their hair, and that's what made it red. Especially the acid, like peat bogs. They find bodies long buried in peat bogs, and they've always got red hair, and it has something to do with the acid in the peat bogs. Just like the Vikings never wore the horned helmets. Not only that, they're finding out that a lot of the Viking warriors were actually women. Because we're more vicious than men. People think, oh, well, women can't be soldiers. They're too kind and nurturing. No, piss us off, motherfucker. Then you're going to wish you were dealing with the men. I mean, hey, use your same bullshit misogyny. Oh, a woman can't be president because of her hormones. And, you know, if she's having a bad period or something, she'll hit the button and blow us all to hell. Well, get them in the military then. Find them bitches with PMS. War would be won in no time. But we shouldn't even be going to war because fuck the politicians. Like System of a Down says, why do they always send the poor? They want to keep people poor and stupid because it's how they staff their military. They promise you, oh, do this for us and we'll pay for your schooling so you can get a good job. Well, unless you get your legs blown off, then they don't give a fuck about you anymore. You get paid poorly, you get treated poorly, and you're doing a job based on a bunch of bullshit from politicians that are having a dick measuring contest, which is another System of a Down song, Figaro. My cock is much bigger than yours. My cock can walk right through the door with a feeling so pure. It's got you coming back for more. And that song is about politics and genocide and politicians having a dick measuring contest, literally. The politicians get pissed off at each other, and it's the civilians that suffer. Primarily the poor. Look at all the wars going on. They all bomb poor areas that have nothing to do with fuck all that's going on. And you've got this government telling their people, oh, those people are bad, blah, 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 go kill them. Then the other one said, oh, these people are bad, go kill them, blah, blah, blah. You know, like my auntie in Idaho, she watches the 700 Club. Oh, my God. And they were talking about, you know, the Muslims this and the Muslims that. And I said, well, the Muslims think the exact same about you. And my auntie gets mad at me, and she's like, well, you know, this, that, and the other thing. I said, no, they don't. They don't. I know Muslim people. You know, look at Ali. He's Muslim. And, you know, one of the reasons his family does not want to be here, besides the sucky weather, is because they're Muslim. And she wears the niqab, you know, just the headscarf. And around here, oh my God, I can imagine the abuse they would take. So she's smart to not want to live here. And personally, I think he's dumb for not moving back to Phoenix. At least there, you know, A, it's warm. B, his family is there, and he's missing them horribly. He's going back to Arizona pretty soon. So I'm sure I'm going to be getting a lot of phone calls going, Ollie's not here and we need help, blah, 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 blah. It's like, oh God, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. This is going to kill me. But, you know, he should be in Arizona with his family, with his wife, with his little girls who miss their daddy so, so much. So why he moved here, I don't know. The schools suck, the people suck, there's no economy here. Why? And at least in Phoenix, you have a Bangladeshi community. You have a Muslim community. Why would you want to be here? And honestly, it just makes me sad because I know how much he misses his family, but he's trying to, make a go of business and be a success. And I'm like, why didn't you buy one in Phoenix then? Oh, they're much more expensive in Phoenix. Well, then get one outside of Phoenix somewhere, just so long as you're close to your family. But he figured his family would move here, and his wife was like, no, no, absolutely not. And I've never gotten much of a chance to talk to her, but, I would tell her, yeah, you're right. Bad idea to move to this shithole. I mean, even if they moved closer to where his store is in Snohomish, at least there's decent schools. There's a Bangladeshi community. There's Muslim people. And I can't remember what she's going to school for. I think it's some kind of nursing. But there's good schools for that up there, too. You've got the University of freaking Washington, one of the premier medical schools. Why choose here? I, I don't know. It kills me because I see how stressed out he is trying to make both stores go, but he can't find people who want to work. And when he does, they want to run things. They want to pull shit behind his back, take advantage of him, steal money from him. And so he's stuck here in this shithole for now with his wife and little girls 1,800 miles away. And I wish there was more I could do to help him. But physically, right now, I'm at my capacity. Mentally, I could probably do more if he would let me. Just so long as he could spend more time with his family. And they can't even come up here to visit because they've got their school down there. She's got school down there. She's got work down there. So I'm trying to get him to arrange for them to come and visit up here over Christmas holiday. Just so they don't. I mean, I know it's really difficult for him to be away from his family for 6 months at a time or any time, but if they could make an arrangement where he goes down every 6 months and she comes up every 6 months, so that at least every 3 months they're seeing each other. Anyway, I have thoroughly bummed myself out, so I'm gonna call it a night because I'm exhausted from all the fucking driving. Like 8 hours of driving plus the driving in between, only to have no fucking answers. I'm just tired of doctors and I'm tired of people and I'm tired of the idiots. So I will talk to you all later when I have something more interesting to say. Have a lovely evening.